guys, today I'll be talking about the top 5 heroes I consider as weird but unique in AOV. I didn't rank the heroes from best to worst, so I'll leave the decision to you. Before we start, don't forget to click that like and subscribe button for more videos. So let's start. First on our list is the Man of Steel himself, Superman. For me, this hero is best suitable for a warrior or assassin class. It's weird that this hero is included in the tank class, but given the health points and his durability, then he qualifies. But the total gameplay and skill set this hero has don't match to what a real tank in the game does, which is to absorb damage and be moving in a smaller area. This hero should move a lot, and I mean a lot, which is the opposite of what most tanks in the game does. Superman is almost entirely useless when he is idle. You should move this hero a lot because of his passive. He has two modes, the flight mode and the walking or running mode, which in flight mode you can maximize his full potential. That's why you really need to move a lot for him to charge his movement or his passive. So let's talk about the pros of this hero. First one is he can easily escape from enemies because of his high mobility in flight mode, and also because of this he can easily gank and help his teammates in the jungle or in any lanes. His first skill has a high damage, which is good in finishing off enemies, those who are running away, and this is quite unique since he can initiate fights and finish it off at the same time, which is not so many heroes have this kind of ability. And although he has those pros, he still has cons, which is the timing that you need for this hero is very challenging. That's why you need to practice his timing a lot. If an enemy hero moves a lot, like Florentino and any other heroes that has a passive or active dash or blink abilities or speed boost, then timing should be practiced. His passive, which is the flight mode, takes some time to charge his passive for flight, although he has his ultimate, which gives him a faster charge, but the cooldown is quite long. His gameplay is somehow similar to Cricknack when Cricknack uses his ultimate. If you have used Cricknack, then you can relate to what I'm saying right here. So overall, this is a great hero. Superman is a great hero. I've been to a game, I've played a game where he is one of my teammates and Superman did a pentakill. So that's how strong he is. I only know a few heroes who can do that, or who I've seen in the game, and in clashing, which did some pentakill. For me, it's quite rare. So you just really need to practice a lot on the timing of it when he is in flight mode and using his second and first skill. Although it still depends on the player whether the player is capable of achieving a pentakill, but it is also the hero that the player is using is also a great factor. So even if the hero is strong enough but the player doesn't know how to use that hero, then it's still useless. Second in our list is the Flash, which is, as you have observed, most DC heroes here, but only two, don't worry, there are only two DC heroes I included. I'm not really sure why they put Flash as a mage, or why is Flash a mage right here, but let's take a look at that fine ass right there. That's one hell of a sexy ass. Anyway, the only skill I can consider as a mage type with Flash is his ultimate. The rest is more of an assassin or a warrior type. But here are the pros. Let's discuss his pros already. A very good initiator and finisher like Superman. So he has a very effective skills during clashing. using his ultimate and then exits the clash area. He can chase down enemies really fast because of his first skill, which is a dash forward, which is he has, or that skill is the second longest dash ability in the game. In my experience, yes, you heard it right. I would give credit to Max. If you know the hero Max, the tank type Max, or the tank Max, Max's ultimate is not a dash though, but it is so much effective because it is like Dota's Bara from Charge. Like he can go anywhere in the map as long as you have that, as long as you have charge to a specific hero. Anyway, going back to this hero, second thing I like about this hero is that he has a very high chance of escaping a gank because of his, again, dash skill number 1. Why did I say a very high chance and not an absolute escape chance? Well, I will discuss it in the cons, which is here we are. Here we're going to talk about the cons. I personally bought this hero because I find this hero very interesting. So the Flash's ultimate is not that good actually for me, based on my experience in this hero. Really, it does not apply any slow during the cyclone or during his ability, the ultimate. It has a low damage output also. Its damage is only acceptable at the end of his ultimate, but not that high enough. As a mage, I usually use his ultimate when my HP is very low and I need to wait for my dash to reset. But anyway, overall this hero is not much unique. Maybe his speed is the only asset this hero has, but almost all of his skills can be found in any other heroes. Not exactly the same, but similar skills with higher crowd control and damage. And talking about crowd control and damage, then most of the mages, or I've seen mages in the game who has an area of effect, like a large area of effect and a very effective crowd control skills, which Flash doesn't has. So, but based on my experience, I usually use Flash as a finisher rather than an initiator, because especially when I am against Alistair, he can, during his dash, he can be disrupted. His dash can be disrupted by any stun or even a slow skills. I even experienced that when I dashed forward, or I mean when I tried to escape, Grak's second skill, which is the hook, still caught me. So it's not really, he is not invulnerable during his dash, but just dash, a simple dash. It's not a blink. Alright, so just like Superman, you need to practice also his timing, especially when entering the clash and getting out of it. I usually enter the clash when in the middle of the clash. He is very good. I don't suggest for you to use Flash as an initiator, because he is not the tank type and he dies easily because he is a mage. He doesn't have the durability like Superman has. Alright, so I usually enter that clash in the middle. Alright, in the middle of the clashing. Why in the middle and not in the last part? Because I usually wait for the enemy heroes to cast all their spells or their skills on the tank that we have before going into the clash, so he won't be caught up in any stun skills or in any debuff skills during clashing. And then right after I blow all the skills I needed, right after I set off the explosive skills that he has, which is the second skill and his ultimate, then I exit and out of here just like that. So overall, the Flash, if you're going to buy or have this hero, then please do practice a lot and always pay attention to the skills of the enemy heroes during the clashing. So next on our list is this mage / tank Marja. Seriously, I rarely see this hero in the battlefield, But what makes this hero quite unique as a tank but weird as a mage is that this hero has a good lifesteal which suits tank types best, but she does not have much of crowd control skills. Her slow is the only thing that we can credit. Given the fact that most heroes does not have a high magic defense, then being a mage is a plus, just like Gilder and Arun. So what are the pros about this hero? Well, there is not much pros I can say about this hero. I can say that as a tank, Arun is way more better than this, and the lifesteal, because Arun has a continuous lifesteal as long as those beasts are surrounding Arun, alright? And maybe her lifesteal capability and ultimate, which gives her a high chance of escaping again, but after all, there is, Arun is way much better, like I said. And for the cons, well, I can say a lot about this. So this hero is not suited for the mage class, not even her skills. And Marja is not even suited for the tank class because of her poor crowd control. A tank must have a good crowd control. I just don't know how to fit her in those two classes, but definitely I can put her on the support class type. Though because of the buff skills, which is slowing her target down, tanks usually does some stun skills, but she doesn't have any, only the slow. So anyway, I cannot recommend this hero if you want the how do you call this, if you want a solid tank or a solid mage type, because this one, her skills are for support, most of it. But you can try using her in the trial mode and decide for yourself. And also, as a mage, she must have a bigger area of effect damage. And talking about range, she does not have much of that. She almost has the same range as Varus, but given that she's also a tank, then probably that's the case. Fourth on our list is this world champ right here, Raz. I bought this hero because of his very high damage output. Now we'll talk directly into his pros because I really like the pros of this hero. Now he has a very high damage output and crowd control abilities, and he's also very good at harassing enemies early game, early, mid, late game, using his second skill, which has a very effective slow. And he has a very good passive mobility, like every time you cast a spell or a skill, then he gains some sort of like agility, like a boost in his movement speed. And let's talk about his cons. This hero is very tricky, especially in positioning him during a fight with multiple enemies, and he is very prone to sneak attacks from assassin because he has a very low constitution attribute or his HP value. And also, one of the things that you must practice about Raz is his second skill, which you must be able to predict the enemy movement so you can hit the enemy accurately. So I can actually put Raz under initiator or finisher, assassin, or warrior, but not in the mage area. Mages are supposed to have ranged abilities, but Raz only has one ranged ability. But I highly credit Raz's high damage output. His melee abilities are quite unique though for a mage, and I can say it has a much better crowd control than the previous hero, Marja. So overall, I would personally recommend this hero, not because I bought this hero or I use this hero, but because of his uniqueness as a mage. Well, we can't blame him though, because he is also an assassin. So practice is a must for this hero, Raz. Fifth on our list is this nasty mage assassin, Zil. Just like Raz, Zil is a melee type of mage. His skills are very effective in jungling. His second skill, most especially, because his second skill gives him total maneuverability with an enemy jungle, which is backed up by his passive. Now let's discuss Zil's pros here. He has a very high damage output, early, mid, and late game, which is just like Raz, right? But what makes him unique or way much better than Raz in this area is that he has a very high mobility. and he also is very effective in taking out marksman, mage, or any other assassins, which Raz can do, but Raz needs to position himself ahead than the enemies. Zil can actually just join the clashing like a little bit later, because he can just use his second skill to like dash or blink to an area. And Zil is very good at ganking because of still his very high mobility and his very high damage output for single heroes. Now, talking about single heroes, that's one of Zil's downside, because his ultimate is only best for a single hero only. If there are multiple heroes in the battlefield which are together, then Zill's ultimate is not much effective. If you ever find yourself in that situation that you used his ultimate and multiple heroes, then better prepare your second skill, or what I call as the escape skill. Okay, so as a mage, they should have a huge or a good amount of area of effect type of damage, which, like I discussed, or like what I've said, Zil only is very effective with single heroes, which is good given that he has this mage assassin class or not abilities, but he is mage slash assassin. Okay, so given that he does not have enough crowd control and area of effect damage output, but let's just talk about the crowd control, then I can say that Raz excels at this point than Zil, or compared to Zil. But I highly recommend Zil for jungling and ganking like heroes, especially in the early game. If Zil already learns his ultimate third skill, if he reaches level 4, if you're using Zil during a clash, then you need to wait. This is the best scenario. You need to wait for the clash to reach its climax, or see some low HP heroes or low life, that doesn't sound good, low HP heroes running away, or heroes that are not in the clash areas, which you can do that before the clash happens. Like, you can just take out first the assassin, the marksman, or the mages. Like, you can do that. So that's all about this nasty little mage right here, Zil. Now for our honorable mentions, these are the heroes which has some kind of weird also, which I find weird and unique at the same time in the game. First is Gilder. Now, why do I consider Gilder as unique or weird? Because as a mage, he is like Raz. He is he is a melee type of a mage, but his skills, especially, I would give credit to his stun. It is a very long range. It can chase down enemy heroes in a straight line, which is good at finishing. And his ultimate, it is a very effective crowd control, and his ultimate is very effective because it has been paired with his dash or blink ability, so he can just jump right into the clash and then bang, use Gilder's ultimate. But overall, his normal attacks, that's what makes him quite weird or unique as a mage, because he is a melee type. He just uses his punch to attack heroes or monsters, or to attack in the game. Now next is Jannar. This mage is quite strange because I'm not really sure why they did not put him in the mage slash tank type, because Jannar's ability, especially his second and ultimate third skill, is more like of a melee type, or has a very low range. His skill that is only acceptable as a mage is the first skill. I think that was the first, where he Anyway, he has this one skill which he can cast at a distance, just like I can consider it bounces. It's like Azenka's one of Azenka's skills that bounces off in between enemies or through any, how do you call that, which bounces from enemy to enemy. Now last but not the least in our list is this marksman slash warrior, Rourke. As a warrior, yes, he passed the requirements or the skills and abilities to be a warrior, but given that his main class is a marksman, it doesn't really make sense because his first skill is very effective at a melee range, and his ultimate, which gives him a very good amount of shield, which also converts the received damage into the shield value, which is very good if you're a tank, but as a marksman that doesn't really fit. All right, so that doesn't fit if you are a marksman. Usually marksman should give enemy heroes the type of damage they deserve at a longer range, just like Yorn and, well, especially Violet. She's very good as a marksman, those type of heroes. But this hero right here, Rourke, is very weird, but personally I use Rourke because he is very effective when ganking enemies, and also he is very effective in clashing because he can like help the tanks take down the enemies. But he can also you can also use Rourke as an assassin though. So that's it about Rourke. But personally I would recommend that you try Rourke in the trial and see for yourself if you would want to use this hero. To wrap things up, all the heroes on the list, either, if you've noticed, the heroes either belong to tank or mage type with side touches on their roles, but we focus more on the two major roles, the tanks and mages. These two classes are supposed to have good to great crowd control and area of effect skills, but there are some heroes which does not have these abilities, or which does not totally possess this kind of abilities. But overall, it still depends on the player's style of playing, because even if you're given with a mage slash archer type of hero with zero crowd control and very low damage output, somehow a good player know how to maximize the skills, environment, and game situations in any cases. But anyway, I still have not encountered any mage slash archer type heroes in the game. So do you agree with my list and analysis? Do you have any heroes in mind you think is weird, unique, or just does not belong to the class? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. So until next time, bye guys, and yeah, happy gaming.